No, I've always kind of been into Eastern thought and Eastern esoteric practices, um, Eastern theology and philosophy. And when I was 18 years old, I became a monk for a year in the ISKCON, Society of ISKCON, um, led by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada from India. And I was a brahmachari, you know. And yeah, that was kind of like my first experience living in a temple or a monastery. So fast forward like 20 years later, I met a guy named Barak Cohen. Was my boss. He's an Israeli guy. And I worked for him for 9 years, and he was heavy meditation practitioner. He's the one that brought me to Vipassana by Goenka. Um, so we kind of built up like heavy rapport with each other, over many years. And so, kind of just to not drag on the story too much, I was in Chicago in my car. I was actually living in my car in Chicago, just kind of doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, all this. And I remember calling him. I was actually crying in my car, and I was like, I'm kind of just what I'm doing is not working, to make it like plain and simple. What I'm doing is not working. And Barack had sent me a video of Seattle, like kind of walking, doing a Dhamma talk. And he said Seattle is like a saint, and he's coming to Los Angeles from Myanmar. And he was like, you should go meet him. So I didn't even have money. I reached out to a friend and I said, I want to go meet this Sayadaw Ashen Ottamatara. He's coming to Los Angeles. They're going to do a meditation retreat. So actually, Barak sent me your number, Al,
Yeah.
through Kema, Seale Kema. Barak and Kema are friends. Um, so I borrowed some money and I drove from Chicago to Los Angeles in like record time, like literally speeding the whole way. So I get to the retreat, Garden Grove, and I had the retreat. I went to the retreat and I met everybody. And after the retreat, Seattle asked if I wanted to come back to Hacienda Heights. And they all made a bed for me in the basement. And here I am, 2026. And that was 2024.
But you went to India also, right?
I did, yeah. So 2024, Seattle and Al. First of all, I didn't even have a passport. So when Seattle asked me if I had a passport, I said no. And Seattle reached into his personal pouch and handed me like four $100 bills so I can get my passport. And at the time, I was sort of still dealing with chemical dependency. And I thought to myself, like, if I spend this money on anything other than a passport, I'm like a scumbag, yeah. So, so I woke up. I set my alarm. I woke up. I was like standing in front of the post office like an hour before it even opened. I was like the first one in, the first one out. I got my passport. Al booked us a ticket. It was Austin, David, and myself. We went to India, Buddha Gaya, for Wasa, and then after that, I met Seale Moon from she lives in Australia, but she's Myanmar, and I got really close with Seale Moon. Seale Moon, her daughter Noemi, we all traveled India together, Varanasi, New Delhi. Then we flew to Thailand together and met her husband there. And then we all went to Semat Sakhom Mahachai. And then once I got to Thailand, I was like, I don't ever want to leave this place. Thailand's amazing,
Yeah.
Thailand's it's wonderful. It's a wonderful place. So yeah, I got to experience Asia. I got to experience India. It's just been like unbelievable, unbelievable. It's better than winning the lottery. And it kind of shows you that even though you have some karma, you have this, that, and the other, but sometimes if you choose to make one decision, that decision can catapult you into a completely different reality. And yeah, it's like this. Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's been wonderful. And I've actually left a couple times due to my ignorance, due to my attachments, due to my, I've actually left Tabawa a couple times. I got a job as a head chef to run my own kitchen in Bangkok. The company flew me to Dubai. I worked in Dubai. Um, that's actually where they fired me. And then I came back to Thailand, and then I came back to Tabawa. Then I went back into Bangkok because of my, I like to spin on the wheel of samsara sometimes. So I did the whole Khao San Road and all this. And then I came back to Tabawa.
Are you
I've, ac-
are you going to Myanmar after?
yeah, I am going to Myanmar. Yeah. Thanks to whoever is, however my ticket manifests, if it was from Ron's donation or whatever. All I know is they said I was going, so I'm very grateful. So thank you very much for whoever is doing that for me because I don't have the money actually to. I'm pretty wiped out. I,
You
I,
went to the
Actually, my credit
Thailand,
card payment is due
Vietnam
tomorrow.
also, right? You went to the Vietnam also from
Oh
Thailand.
yeah, I also went to Vietnam. Yeah, so on my own without Tabawa, I actually flew to Thailand, and then Thailand saw that I had multiple stamps in visa runs like Cambodia and all this. In Thailand, when I went to immigration pulled me to the side. They put me in an office. I was in there for like 3 hours. She made me fill out a stack of paperwork like 2 inches thick.
Why?
And because I was coming in and out doing visa runs instead of getting an actual long-term visa. So immigration was like, you can't do that anymore. So they made me book a ticket. So I booked a ticket for a bus to Cambodia. But during that time, Cambodia and Thailand were at war. So they closed the border of Cambodia. So I had my choice was Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. And I'm so glad I chose Hanoi. Hanoi is just beautiful. And whoever's listening, whoever's in this room, if you guys never been to Hanoi, Vietnam, I strongly suggest it.
Food is good.
It's the food. So yeah, for like 30,000 dong, I was getting these gigantic Okay, anyways.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, Hanoi's amazing. So and then after Hanoi gets pretty cold in the wintertime. Then I went down to Ho Chi Minh City. Um, yeah. So but yeah. If it wasn't for Tabawa, I wouldn't have this like amazing life. And I've been homeless like I literally have been homeless 80% of my life.
Wow.
In yeah.
What
And
happened?
actually in Bangkok, I was homeless in Bangkok because I ran out of money in Khao San Road, and I started sleeping in a parking lot in Bangkok. So I've been even homeless abroad. In Thailand, I was homeless for a little bit. And if it wasn't for Sayale Shelley from Australia giving me donations, she probably donated me over $1,000 to keep me afloat in Thailand as well. But that was from me like wanting to enjoy all my attachments because if I would have just stayed in Tabawa, I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have been homeless, obviously. So yeah, but the story that I'm telling is not a normal story for a homeless person. Let's say that. So this is yeah, oh, this is like, yeah, this is something. This is really something. So like I said, for whoever is listening out there that is unsure about Tabawa and the power that Tabawa holds, Seattle, you can say like he's the epicenter of Tabawa. Not say this is obviously Seattle's the epicenter of Tabawa, but we are all Tabawa. You can Seattle's vision can't happen without us. We make it happen. Seattle has the vision, but we make it happen. We are Tabawa. We are Tabawa. And even though we might fight sometimes and we might this, that, and the other sometimes, but we're like a family, you know? Like I've had multiple like look at like as a great example, Seale Aga. I love Seale Aga. She's incredible. And me and Seale Aga, we have gotten into it a couple times, but we get over it. It blows over. And
You
we
have
start to, and the more time, the more, I know Seale Aga is amazing, but the more time we spend with each other, the more we understand each other. And the more it's so easy to point out the bad.
yeah.
Any child can destroy. It takes a adult, structured, healthy mind to build. Anyone can destroy. This is so easy to destroy, but to build takes something else. Yeah? And Tabao is about building, growing, nurturing. And for this to happen, it kind of takes all of us to kind of come to a certain mutual agreement. And that, and like I was telling Virginie, those things sometimes might take a year in Tabawa to figure that out, 2 years in Tabawa to figure that out. It's not going to come right away. Just like Sayada's teachings, with detachment and mindfulness, it doesn't come right away. One day you're doing something, it just clicks, and you have an aha moment. So even for the for the Vietnamese out there that you said that they left, if any of them are listening, come back, come back to Tabawa, because if you didn't get it that time, it doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It just means that you might sit inside a Dhamma talk sometime and somebody says something that makes it click for you because you speak their language. Not everybody speaks everybody's language. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to figure out how to reach that person.
Well, most of Seattle's teaching
Mm.
is not theory. You have to live it.
Yes.
So the meditators, come and want some theory to go home and practice. But his teaching is this right here. Is real life. You have to live with chaos. You have to be able to detach from things. So how to detach is you have to live like this.
Yes.
You have to be able
Yes.
to leave your family, your home, and be at a retreat or accept people for
Yeah.
who they are. So it's the more practical that your whole life has to live his teaching, not in a sit in meditation.
Yeah.
And I think that's difficult
Yeah.
for people to understand and do at this time.
Yeah.
But I was on both sides. I was on the side of listening to Dhamma and attending really well organized retreat, and I practice based on specific objects. I did that too, and but when I was exposed to his teaching, after a while I realized that his teaching is actually the real life Dhamma.
Yes.
Not the sit-in meditation.
Not only to
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just in the
Or
sit-in,
yeah.
but even being able to leave the home to leave the work. The most common thing is I have to work, so I can't attend the retreat, right?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to.
근데
Yeah, I don't think that was nice.
So detachment is not a theory that we practice while we meditate, but to be able to leave work, to be able to leave home, to be able to do things that you're not comfortable with doing, to be able to accept what you couldn't accept before. Those are all practice of detachment, and you have to be like this. Even for you have to live that life. You
Yeah.
have to be all in.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to find work, to have a family, to live the normal life that is labeled by society,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But detachment is being able to not do any of that.
Yeah.
You can do it when it's needed,
Mm.
but you also have the ability to not do it. So I work when it's needed. I don't work when it's not needed.
Obviously.
So I can work, but I also can not work.
Sure.
That is the middle way. I can do both.
Yeah.
And whatever the condition requires at that time. So in my understanding, his teaching is real life experience. People, the perfect people who go to retreat, who sits very straight, attend from 9 to 5, in theory, but that is not all. you got the other side that is really chaotic, and people come from different backgrounds and different understandings and different habits.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to know that that is Dhamma. Dhamma is like that.
Yes.
It's all based on conditions, and everyone. I always ask why he can just accept everyone, because he repeated many times in his teaching, we all have the same ignorance and attachment. We all are the same on that level. So when we see it from that side, it is really easy to accept. You know, you might get irritated at that time, but it moves out of it very quickly. So for my friends that are meditators, they don't understand why I do what I do.
Sure.
My family don't understand what I do. The organizer here, the volunteers here are very close with me. We went to many retreats together. They don't understand what I do. 99% said what I'm doing is wrong. Yes, what I'm doing is wrong, and they just cannot understand unless they live, unless they're able to leave and whatever you attach most, you detach from that most. I have a daughter, but I don't attach to her. I love her, but I don't attach to her. I can leave anytime. I can go anywhere. I have a job, but I'm not attached to that job. I can leave anywhere. If needed, I will be home. If needed, I will be at work. But doesn't mean I have to be there all the time until she's a certain age, or until I receive a certain success. For me, it's not like that. So I think that is the core of his teaching. It's about detachment, being able to leave what you love, being able to do what you cannot do, and understand what you cannot understand, and accept what you cannot accept. So you are all the practical practice of detachment, and also non-self. When I look at everyone, including myself, I understand non-self clearly. This is it. Nobody's the same. We're all just that. We're all ignorant the same way. That's how I see it. We're all ignorant the same way. So this group has taught me many, many things, you know, especially patience, a lot of patience, and a lot of acceptance, like acceptance that we're different in habits, but we're not different in the core of ignorance.
Yes.
Yeah. Even sometimes I come off as really strict or this or that, but I do that with protection. You know, I do that with the intention of protecting everyone, and especially protecting Dhamma so that it can continue. Just like Seattle uses money because he knows how to use money best. He knows what to do with the money. And I know how to use the abilities of organizing. I use it. Not because that is something I attach to. It has to be clean. It has to be this. But I use it because I know how to use it best for that situation, for that place, for that condition. And then when it goes to another place, I will use another method. I will use another condition. So many things, like you guys have taught me also many things. Many times I didn't want to. Before Seattle came, I have to return to work full time. And I was exhausted. I didn't think I could continue to organize retreats, but I also remember he taught me in North Carolina when I wanted to leave. He said, even if it's difficult or it's easy, even if I can do it or I cannot, even if I want to or don't want to, I have to continue. And that's what I'm doing. I continue, whether it's difficult or easy, whether I want to or not, whether I can or cannot, I continue. So I always remember that teaching. So when I come home, I say, nope, I'm not coming back tomorrow. And then tomorrow I still come back. When he comes, I say, no, I'm not going to organize more retreat. And then I do, because I always continue.
Admit it, Cindy. You cannot stay with us.
Yeah, I always continue. But there were times I told Ong Lin, I call him, I say, get them out of me. Like, get them away from me. I can't do it. I will not come back. I can't. But then when the time comes, I will find myself to do it again and again and again. And when, even in this retreat, before the opening, we had so many problems, so many. There was like endless mountains that we have to climb. And I still got text, Cindy, just give it up, just cancel it. And I can't. And then the next day, I wake up and I solve the problems again. One more meeting, just one more, just try one more time. And to the point of exhaustion. But I always continue, just do my best, whether it happened or not. I cannot stop.
Well, you can't leave. I don't think any one of us are up to be the next Cindy. So.
Well, not about leaving, but I remember his teaching, because what I'm doing is good deeds, and whether I can or I cannot. If I want to or I don't want to, I should continue. And so here I am. And if there are times when I would be patient with you, but at the same time, I ask that you also be patient with me. Always understand that what I do, it is not for me. I know best what is needed at that place, and that is why I do what I do. If this place is flexible, it's like very easy. I know what is needed. And I know what is needed for this place now is the organizing, the cleanliness. So I give them that. Whatever the owner desire, I give it to them. So I ask that you trust me, that I know what is needed at that place, so that we can receive, we can continue. Otherwise, we will lose the opportunity. But even if I try my best, sometimes it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But we give us our best. So as much as I lead, at the same time, I am also part of you. As much as I am patient with you, I also ask that you be patient with me, so that we can continue. Yeah, there are times when you won't like me. There are times when you don't understand why I do certain things. Be patient, and then you will understand. Just as much as there are times when I don't understand why you do certain things. And I'll be patient, and then I will understand you later. So that's how we ask of each other.
Yeah, I want to add.
Well, Ong Lin has to hear a lot, because every time I get upset, I call him.
I just
Switch it out with Cindy. Give her the short one and take this one.
Yeah, Cindy, amazing, you tell us all how you feel. it's very beneficial all of us. And I know your frustration when you call me. I know that I've been the road also, and at the time I call Seattle. I talk. I need to talk to someone. So I've been there. And one thing I want to about Aaron is, I'm the one who witnessed it. Right? You. The first time you came me, I'm the one who saw you. You came me and I met you.
At Garden Grove?
Garden Grove,
Retreat.
right? First time.
Mm.
And at the time, you are eager to learn. I can see that you are wanting to change also. You are looking for a teacher. But, things go along. Like Seattle is very patient with you. At the time, we are short of money, but Seattle take out his own money and, asked me to buy the ticket for you. So not only that, I heard about you in India, and then Thailand Center called me also. I heard about in Vietnam also. I'm always, you call me when you got mad and you out of the Bawa Center in Thailand, and then you call me there also.
Oh,
Why you
right,
are in,
at the-
yeah,
I had to go to the
right.
hospital. Yes.
While you are in Dubai, you call me also.
Yes. I did.
So, sometimes frustrated on you because, you are keep repeating it. And then deep down, I know that, you are getting better and better. I don't know which time, you're going to hit, the point. So, amazing, this time, once you got back here, you got getting better because, the Alice, don't want you keep at his place. But Sienna step in, Sienna willing to help, right? And then once you are in trouble by yourself in Thailand, Siali Moon, right, in India, and then the one from Australia, right? Yeah, Siali, she step in also. So one way or the other, that's your good karma also. You got always someone to help, because we know that you are trying it, right? And I'm glad, you reach today and you want to keep going. There's a many, tough road ahead, but as long as, just like Cindy said it, consistency, keep doing this no matter what, we will find a way.
Yeah. When it's the most hard, that's when you know you must continue. That's when it, or let me rephrase that. When it gets the most difficult, that's when it's the most important for you to continue.
And another thing, right? I mean, that's an old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. I don't know how many towns we needed if we try to raise a man with, a many trauma, right? We all got some trauma in our life. So, but now I witnessed it. I see many stories also, Seattle Metta for all of us, and a place for us to grow freely as who we are. We are not pretending. Even though you stay in the Hasiana, you are not pretending, because this is a design. Seattle set this center that way. We're not forcing the yogi to sit, morning, evening, afternoon, because we can be improved more by knowing as who we are. So,
Own experience.
So, that's all it takes. Loving kindness, ultimate loving kindness, metta,
Compassion.
and a place for us to grow. I think Seattle is working hard to have our own center in America. Yeah, that's about it for now.
I have a question. I have a question on your sharing. Why did you choose the Vawa again and again and why did you choose to come back to the Vawa again and again whenever you faced in trouble?
You know, because I've worked in restaurants for over 20 years, um, and I've learned a lot under some very talented chefs. So if I do want to leave Tabawa, I can go back into the workforce. I have the ability to do that. But there is something about Tabawa that is magical. Like Cindy was saying, you have many, many different people with many different backgrounds that act different ways. And even though we fight and we argue and we help each other break down walls or we build walls up because of each other, and all these angles of our behaviors towards each other, you start to come to this realization that all these troubles that I'm having, whether, uh, you know, not just the troubles, not just the good times, but even all the troubles that we have with each other and all the challenges that we face, it helps your practice. It helps you not just like detach with Sayadaw's teachings, but you start to realize that um, you learn patience with people. You learn how to not interrupt somebody, to keep quiet and let them finish their sentence. And
I have to get this phone.
mm,
Be right back.
and you learn how to start to this ego, like you said, it's from, like we were saying, it's from life experience, and like I was saying, it sometimes it doesn't come right away. You sometimes have to leave and come back and leave and come back because sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone, you know, and there's many different things about Tabawa that you're not going to find anywhere else. Like when I was traveling in India with Seale Moon and her daughter Noemi, and Seale Shelley from Australia, I was basically like Seale Moon's copycat. I'd be like holding her daughter in one hand, I'd like holding Noemi in one hand and holding all of Seale Moon's like luggage in the other, and we're like running through the airport and like it's all crazy, but like those are these fun things and these fun parts, and like where else can you do all this stuff? Where else can you just, like with Austin was saying, like where else can you just come in? Like just come in, you know? Like for instance, as an example, Wat Pananachat in Thailand's very famous monastery. And before you ordain there, you have to wear white for like 2 years, 3 years. And you have to prove, and you have to like really prove them that you want that robe. But Sayadaw kind of, like in Tabawa, you can ordain. Like when the first retreat I went to in Garden Grove, Chris, Seale Karuna's husband, remember Chris? He ordained just for the weekend. You can. Tabawa is a powerhouse of unlimited possibilities. Whatever you can think in your mind, Tabawa can make happen. But it takes us to do that. Like I said, Sayadaw is the epicenter of Tabawa. He's the epicenter of the vision, but we are Tabawa. Sayadaw's vision cannot happen without us. And it's the beauty of it. And sometimes when people come from different places, even if they don't like something about Tabawa, you can listen to that person talk about what they don't like, and then you can either change their mind or have them stay or let them leave and detach from them and let them leave and let them find out on their own why Tabawa is so great. Let them go out into the world. Let them go back to New York and go back to their job. And then they'll be in New York and they're like, you know what? It's not as good as this. The retreats, the people, the foods, Sayadaw's presence. It's not as good as this. It actually doesn't get better than this. It doesn't get better than this. And Tabawa is now like my family, And sometimes you have to like taste the dirt before you can start to really appreciate the cupcakes, you know? And then all these little things is like, like we were saying, like Essen Goenka and all these, all those things are incredible. But those things are like one slice of cake. Tabawa is like the bakery, you know? Tabawa is the bakery, not just the whole cake. Tabawa is the bakery. All those other things are a slice of cake. Tabawa is the bakery.
Yeah, Goenka is more like you are visitor there. You know, you are visitor to that place.
Oh yeah, Tabawa, your
Tabawa,
family right away.
yeah,
Your family right away.
You are living in it.
Yeah, you're living in
You
it.
are, you are not
You're,
visitor.
yeah, you're not visitor. And Tabawa is free. Like when I was in Thailand at Samasako Mahachai, when I was in Thailand, if it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I want to order a tuk tuk to come pick me up and take me into Bangkok, no problem. Nobody say nothing. Nobody cares. You're free. You're free in Tabawa. If you want to go do this, you go do this. If you want to go do that, you go do that. You know, it's up to you. But Seattle give you the chance. And, you know, with Seattle giving you multiple chances, you keep learning and learning and learning. And, you know, where else? Like for instance, Pa'ok, or I don't know about Pa'ok, but definitely Wat Nanachat in Thailand. If you even get caught smoking a cigarette in Wat Nanachat, you're gone. They don't play games like this. Not saying Tabawa plays games. It's not game, but it's very strict there. But Seado is, you know, he's realized. He understands that you can't just give somebody one chance. You have to give multiple. People don't change overnight. People don't change with one situation. People don't change with just one Dhamma talk. You know, you can't force feed Dhamma. You can't force feed Buddhism. You have to kind of let people, you bring them in, you let them see what it's all about. And, you know, and also Sayadaw's teaching is not for everybody. And it might not be for anybody, it might not be for them right now. But if we keep Tabawa strong and we make it grow, and maybe their next life, Tabawa's still there for them to come back, for them to have a chance to come back. And for that to happen, it takes us all to get along. It takes us all to, sometimes we have to follow rules. Sometimes you have to swallow some frogs, you know? And yeah, I've been very disrespectful in Tabawa. I've done many things, you know? Even with Sayado and Al, I've said things it's like shameful and embarrassing to say. But Sayado understands human emotion. Sayado understands human desire. Sayado understands just human beings in general. So he's detached and he lets it happen, because within that letting happen and giving you multiple chances, he lets you change at your pace. He lets you do at your pace, you know? And yeah, it's up to you. And with all these things combined, with all these little pieces combined, it kind of creates an atmosphere of family, you know? And we look out for each other. You know, there's many people in Tabawa that I've gotten into many, many arguments with. But when we're out there as Tabawa, we look out for each other. We're family like this, even though we might not get along all the time. But there is something there within all of us. You know, like we're proud to wear a Tabawa t-shirt. You know, we're proud to say we're in Tabawa. And yeah, it's you're just not going to find anything like that, you know? You're not going to find anything like that in the world. And yeah, it's a special place. And this is kind of, for anybody out there that's listening and they're kind of having questions about Tabawa, you're also free to come and check it out for yourself and leave on your own accord. You're free to do so. Or you're free to come and stay for a long time if you want, you know? So yeah, this isn't, you're not going to find this anywhere else. Tabawa is very special like this. So yeah.
Yeah, can you give us
Feedback.
feedback? If you are still Thanks for sharing.
And I just want to apologize again for any negativity that blew me away and the things I said that weren't correct.
Yeah, I'm glad you
I said many things to
welcome.
you. I said many things to you, so yeah. Thank you for still helping me keep
because of courage to detach from my parents physically and mentally in 1993. I got the chance to rely fully on me. That was very rare in the Eastern country. Easterners are attaching so much on their family, their relatives. That's why really difficult to detach from our family member. Men and women get married because of teamwork to build a family for individual. As an Easterner, we are relying on our parents, our children, our partner. That tradition is really strong. Therefore, we are difficult to rely fully on ourselves because of many things. I decided to detach from my parents and brothers physically and mentally. As soon as I could leave the house, there's freedom. There was freedom to do my business as much as I want. No one, no control for my own business. That made me to be skillful in to use freedom concerned with business. I became a real professional in buying and selling and choosing the employee. Nearly all the time, because of not enough job in the country, there are many young men and women without job. So when I started my own business, I was able to extend as much as I went. In this way, I can give job many men and women in my convenience store. I have to manage the finance by myself also. In this way, I became more and more skillful how to use many shelter, labor, material, household goods. Within 5-6 years, I could save many and I could buy a small apartment in downtown of Yangon, Myanmar. In this way, I was able to fully rely on myself with detachment from everyone. That became my ability to do something freely, to get success. I'm training. At that time, I train not only myself but also my workers or employee. So in 1999, I got the chance to practice meditation, and at that time, most of the meditators were old. So they were facing with difficulty. What is meditation? How to meditate? What is right? What is wrong? Which method to choose? Which meditation master to follow? Even though they are practicing meditation and following one master and practicing in one of the meditation center, nearly most of the meditators were facing with difficulties. At that time, I decided this problem was really difficult to solve. There are many monks who were skillful in Buddhist literature. There are also many meditation teachers in the country, but not easy to solve that problem. With this right understanding, I decided to practice meditation seriously to solve this problem from 1999, and I continues practicing and teaching ordination as a monk, creating the Bhava Center in 2007 because of the ability of a really hardworking businessman using the shelter, meditators, and practicing meditation very hard were not much difficult for me. In this way, I can find the solution for the meditators. Besides, I could find the solution for the meditation teacher also, how to teach in better way, how to open a meditation center for multi-use, how to develop meditator, how to develop meditation master, how to develop a meditation center. That is my professional job. So I not only as a monk or meditation teacher, but also as a business owner, I already met with many people, many workers. So dealing with the people and using all the household goods are not much difficult for me. As a businessman, I already choose 4 or 5 places to open convenience store. Therefore, I know the difference between the place. That's why I can do. I can teach successfully to the public and can use all the meditators and volunteers, donor in better way for long term. For short term, they may not understand, they may not like the Power Center and me and my teaching, but in the long term, they are sure to understand the truth because there is the truth behind the Power Center. My teaching and my life is really great, powerful. Therefore, no one can hide the truth. If you don't understand, now you can understand in the future. I have many experience like this. That's why I will never be disappointed with the people like you, with the person like you, because I already experienced many people within 18 years from the beginning of the first Power Center. The Powers is busy all the time, in and out, a lot of coming, going. And then some of the meditators, volunteers, donors still remain as resident of the Power Center. In the long run, we became like one of the biggest family. Therefore, at the present situation, we are complete for the land, for the building, for the meditators, volunteers, donors. We just need to continue teamwork like this more and more by using the better people, better location, to get success in practicing and teaching meditation and helping people like this is really difficult. There are many successful businessmen and company, many successful musicians, artists, politicians, but not much getting success organization like the Power Center. The Power Center is not a business company, not a political party. Just the center to do all kinds of good deeds limitlessly. Doing good deeds with limit is not much difficult. But getting success limitlessly is really difficult. There are still problems concerned with finance, but it will finish at one time for sure. Not all, most of the Baba Center are clear with debt. Only a few has debt. But I'm solving all the problem by doing good deeds like this. So Dhamma will solve one problems after another for sure. So you are easy to follow me, to do good deeds as I am leading. You can learn a lot from me and from the other meditators, meditation teacher. This is the gift for all living beings. If you understand and do good deeds together with us, you are really fortunate. But most of the people are not fortunate enough like you. For me, I already solved the biggest problem concerned with the Baba Center. I already did the biggest good deeds like COVID hospital, peace mission for the country, many Dhamma hospital, creating Dhamma hospital for all kinds of patients. Really new invention, new kinds of good deeds. For the future generation also. In fact, I'm not much willing to speak like this because I'm strongly speaking by action. There are many things to do. Because of explanation like this, I need to stop making decision, reading message, and solving the problem. There are endless problems, endless need of, endless asking for the need. I'm doing many things every day. That's why my time is really precious. I'm able to do like this because I emphasize to do like this. This kind of opportunity is very rare. You may be busy with your job, for money, for yourself, but you are really difficult to work for all, for marriage, for long term.